All right, we are live. We are live. It is Monday, which means it must be getting down to business. Live with Lisza, and we have another installment today. We will be talking about how to deal with information overload. Anybody experience that? Information overload. And I'm going to give you 3 steps. Actually, I'm going to give you 5 steps to handle it and 3 steps to manage it. Kind of a little bit different, okay? So I want you to stick with me. So how many of you, like, come on, all of us experience information overload at some point in time. Okay, now, as you come on board, let me know you're here, hashtag live, and let me know where you're joining from. Say hello. Right up here above me, you should see a little link. Hopefully you guys can see that, which is a streamyard.com/Facebook. When you click on that, when you comment, I can see who it is. So let's see. Yes, so much, and it's constantly changing. Yes, it is constantly changing. It's exactly why we've had this theme this entire month. Absolutely. I mean, really, I have some great information for you. I have a lot to share today because I know we're all facing it. We're all facing information overload. And especially for those of us, maybe you're not used to working from home so much, or you're new as an entrepreneur. Even if you're very experienced like me, I mean, there is so much going on right now. There is so much information. And that's why I wanted to be able to give you, hey, Michelle, we can see you now. Yay. Awesome. Wonderful. Wonderful. Glad to have you. Okay. So yes. So especially now, with just so much happening online, so much happening in our lives, so much going on, it's so easy to get into that space of information overload. Now, I sort of touched on it a little bit last week, but I wanted to dive in a little bit deeper because you guys know me and how much I like statistics, statistics and information, et cetera. And I've got several screens going on over here. So hold on one quick second. I just want to make sure that everything is streaming. You guys can hear me and see me okay. Yes. All right. It looks like it is good there. Awesome. So yeah, there is a lot going on right now. So let me get to my banners here. So today our topic is how to deal with information overload. And I actually have more than 3 steps. I have more than 3 steps on how you can set up now to manage it. All right. I'm going to give you a little bit more. So whether you're in a place to take notes or not, I have some really great info for you. Now, let me make sure I have everything. So first of all, I'm going to do this. I actually found a really cool infographic. And in fact, I'm going to even try to share. I'm going to share this with you guys. So let me get my screen here. This is a great. Again, I'm always doing research on different things. So let me get. Let's see if I can do this here. Whoops, hold on. Share screen. I'm going to do a quick share screen with you. All right, there we go. So this is really, really interesting. Now, I don't have the exact date on this, but this infographic was attached to a document that was published on October 22nd, okay? Even though it's not dated, it's a really cool site called Lifehack. There's some really cool things in here. Actually, let me turn this thing off so you can see as much of the screen as possible. So this is interesting. Again, I don't know if you can read this or not read this, but it says, the internet is only 23 years old and already every 60 seconds, okay, every 60 seconds, 160 million emails are sent. 1,500 blog entries are created. 98,000 tweets are shared on Twitter. 694,445 Google searches are completed. Oh my God, these numbers are astounding. 695,000 Facebook status updates are posted. Okay, go back to this. Every 60 seconds, this is every minute, you guys. This is crazy. Every minute, 695,000 Facebook statuses are posted. 6,600 photos are uploaded to Flickr, and 600 videos per minute are uploaded to YouTube. Okay, so this is a worker information The average worker spends 28% of the work week managing emails, which is equivalent of 560 hours per year. Okay. So now let's come back. So that is, I just wanted to share some of those statistics because you guys know how much I love statistics. Okay. What do we have here? Just a heads up, many people are without power in Southern California. We had a freak windstorm today. Oh, Brian, I am sorry. You know, I actually did see something right over by where we used to live in Rancho Santa Margarita. I've been through many a fire down there. So we are praying for everybody. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't know how close that was or power issues. So we will pray for everybody and hopefully you can stick with us here. So I did not realize that. Been working away today, like literally I've had my nose down to the grindstone today. I usually don't even look at the news until later on in the evening. All right, so let me get to sharing this information with you guys, okay? So as an entrepreneur, again, we all know this. We have to act despite, having fear, despite, while being relentless, being a visionary, and being a risk taker. This is part of the world as an entrepreneur, okay? So how many of you have heard of the phrase drinking from a fire hose? Okay, like, right? We've seen those pictures of it, right? Drinking from a fire hose. And again, understanding that is what it's like sometimes as an entrepreneur. So not only are we all inundated with information and how-tos, but we're also overwhelmed with everything that we all have to get done, right? Managing our team, if you have a team, responding to people, getting back to people, getting through your emails, getting like all those things, right? On top of that, we also have to keep up as business owners and entrepreneurs. We have to keep up with the latest tools and all the hot social media platforms. Now, again, I caution people against that. For example, like you guys all know the TikTok craze. Again, if that's not applicable to your business, then again, it's not, it's your energy should not be focused there. Okay. But again, if you're not careful, you're going to end up completely burnout or simply literally drowning in the daily deluge of information because there's so much information. You guys good with that? I mean, you understand, right? Like we're all in that same, like there's just so much coming at us. Now, as you move through different stages of entrepreneurship, it's incredibly important that you methodically approach what lies ahead and figure out how to set yourself up for success without losing your mind. Now, Michelle knows this. In our program, we have something called the core entrepreneurial process, right? The CEP. And through that cycle, it allows you to focus on what is the most important thing to do next, right? Not worry about, again, if it's not the right time to do a book or who knows what, right? Some tactic or strategy. When you know and understand your business and where you are in the CEP, core entrepreneurial process, in that cycle, you know what to focus on next. Now, if you're easily distracted by shiny objects, which so many of us are, you have to implement different levels of discipline based upon how you work, okay? And on the other end, if you endlessly obsess over organization, you need to relax a bit and be a little bit more fluid, right? So you can over-organize and spend time doing that, but you want to, again, you've got to sort of find that happy medium. So as we know this, you guys, and this is why I have this group, being an entrepreneur demands that you remain flexible, yet diligent at the same time, okay? Now, let me know if this sounds familiar to you. On a daily basis, you are assaulted in all of your senses, right? You're constantly receiving information. By the way, much of it is useless, right? Doesn't help you in the moment, but you continue, again, all of us continue to ask for more. We browse online, right? Whether you're on Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is, or on your phone, you're constantly on there. In fact, if you guys have watched or haven't watched the social dilemma, oh my God, you guys, it will completely change your mindset on how you look at utilizing social media. And I highly, highly recommend it. I may just do a whole live just on the social dilemma. It is very eye-opening. Okay, but what happens is, as you suck into this, as you're on your phone or on your computer and going into social media and doing multitasking and all that thing, again, that's leading to this information overload. Okay, you guys good with that? You following so far? I'm sure you all understand that, right? You understand that. So let me know. So you guys are familiar with this. Each click of the mouse, again, and by the way, let me know if any of you have actually seen Social Dilemma. Let me know yes or no if you've seen it. So Brent says, yeah, I agree that would be great. Cool. So each click of the mouse literally leads you down another path of information, okay? And it adds to your never-ending collection of like bookmarks and different things that you're saving. If you listen to podcasts, right? Each podcast gives you 54 more ideas to pursue. And you guys, I love podcasts, okay? I use podcasts when I'm working out in the morning, and that's where I get my ideas. And I actually have, I don't know if you've heard me share this before, in our home gym, I have this huge whiteboard on the wall that is right next to our tread climber. Because when I'm on the tread climber, this is where I get my ideas. And I literally have a marker and I reach over as I'm getting different ideas and I mark it up onto the whiteboard so that I don't forget it, so that I can remember it, okay? But understand that each of these things that we access literally gives us more ideas, more things, right? That's as an entrepreneur, this happens all the time. So we have a yes, I have, okay. Yes, you have, okay, got it. I don't know who that is, but yes, you have, okay. Again, same thing with articles. Every article you read results in maybe 12 new, ideas or different ways to go, or maybe you're getting new, ideas for domain names. Okay, whatever that might be, as an entrepreneur, this is all in your nature. Now, early stages, if you're just beginning to branch out on your own, it's kind of like being a kid in the candy store, right? You cannot get enough of it. But as you continue to move forward, right, if you lack a strategic approach on this, you will literally be down a black rabbit hole, okay? Like you will be down a rabbit hole and lost, right? Fragmented or just like all over the place, okay? So you've got to be able to be in a position to structure all of this, okay? So I'm going to give you 5 ways that you can handle the onslaught of information, right? That onslaught that we all face. Okay, so you guys following here, I want to make sure, now, are you ready? Maybe have pen and paper. I want to make sure you're writing this down. And then I'm going to give you, again, I've got a lot of tools for you. So first of all, I say have a collection tool. Okay, have a collection tool, and your head does not count. Don't keep all this stuff up in your head. You have to have a way of managing the information. So a way to collect and organize the information that you're receiving and generating. And hold on, I'm going to give you a couple of really, really cool resources here. Now, you could obviously use a traditional notebook and pen, but I'm going to tell you, and I take lots of notes, but taking notes from something like a training is completely different than collecting information, okay? So look for a tool that you can access and utilize from any device. So whether it's your computer, your laptop, your phone, whatever, I make sure that the things I share with you are things that you can access from anywhere. So again, every time you come across something, you want to be able to take note of it. So I take this, instead of having that information like gathering up in your head, okay, that takes up space, much needed space. You want to make sure you get it out of your head and somewhere where you can easily find it. And I'm going to give you a little golden nugget here in just a minute. Okay. So next time you come across some remarkable resource or a technical tidbit or your next big idea, you want to make sure that you're making a note of it in your tool. Okay. That tool needs to serve as your central information repository, your CIR, okay? Central information repository, and it also needs to be your best friend. Now, Michelle, I don't know if you recall me sharing this one with you. So first of all, I'm going to ask you before I share this, do you have a tool or a resource right now that you utilize to input, to save tidbits of information? I want you guys just type down yes or no, or I have something. Don't tell me what it is yet, okay? Just say yes you do, or no, I save it all in my head, or I write it down in a notebook. Okay, I want to know how you currently manage and collect information and things that you feel will be useful in the future. Okay, so Michelle says, I put things in folders. Okay, so Michelle, are they digital folders, or are they tangible folders? Are they like paper folders? Okay, I just want to know. Okay, so you put things in folders. I'm guessing they're digital folders, but I don't want to assume. Brent says, yes, you use Google Notes. Okay, Google Notes is great. Now, does Google Notes give you a way to like search for things? I don't actually use Google Notes. That's great. I use Google everything. I don't think I use Google Notes. Okay, so the question, Brent, is does it allow you to search for topics or categorize topics or like create folders and subfolders, etc.? And again, this might be a great learning experience for me as well. Michelle says, yes, digital. Okay, digital. I thought you did. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so you have a way, right? You have a repository to manage these, your information, right? Information and things of interest to you. Okay, so I'm going to share with you in here 1 second. When you document, I'm sorry, Google Drive. Okay, yes, Google Drive. So Google Drive, so within Google Drive, though, they have Google Documents, you have Google Spreadsheets, you have Google everything. Hold on, you have Google, hold on, Documents, Sheets, Slides, and Forms, okay? There's other things too, but those are the primary ones in Google. By the way, I love Google, so I think Google has a lot of great resources for specific things, okay? So making sure that you're documenting things in such a way that you could come back. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you purchased a printer, okay? Let's say you purchased a printer 3 years ago. And okay, so Brett says you use Excel. Okay, so Excel. So let's say you purchased a printer 2-3 years ago. And you wanted to make sure you always save, you want to scan in the receipt for that printer in case something goes wrong, you have proof or whatever, right? So if you scan in that receipt, okay, how do you manage that receipt for your business, for that printer, say it's 2 years later and something goes wrong, okay? So just want you to think about that for 1 second. Now, we use something, okay, that serves as our central information repository, and it is by far our best friend. It allows us to revisit and examine it at a later date and to be able to search for it by tags and names, and scan in documents and save and get rid of the paper sitting around, right? Like you can scan in documents, you can scan in receipts, you can scan all that stuff. So everything goes digital, okay? This, the thing that we use and what I share, hold on, I'm going to put it in here 1 second. Let me type it in here. Michelle might know this. And it is called Evernote. Now, Evernote, you can start with Evernote as a free, free platform, totally free platform. And I'm going to share a little quick story and then I'm going to move on here. I was introduced to Evernote years ago, like years, I don't even know, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe longer. And I kind of used it. I was originally using it to save. You can bookmark different like websites and pages, that you find on the internet, right? So if I find a page that I really like, I might want to save it as a swipe file for the future to review it, or I might like the copy, the way it's written, and so I want to use it as an example or as a model, or I might want to use this. I have a list of different tools and resources that are web-based, and I save those into Evernote, and I can categorize and name them. So I can say, digital graphics tools or something. Okay. And so anything that I come across that fits under that guideline gets saved into that folder, or just like Michelle was talking about, gets saved into that folder. Let me see what you guys have here. Okay. Whoops. It says the paper clutter. Yes, we have to, believe me, that's been my biggest challenge, is getting rid of the paper clutter. And I'm going to tell you, this isn't a training on Evernote, but I will tell you, Evernote will change your life. I've turned so many people on to Evernote, mainly because of the ability to scan documents into there. I'll just give you a really quick example. We bought, we bought a new refrigerator last year, again, printers, any kind of things like that you buy that you have a receipt that you need to keep. Like, again, a refrigerator might be 5 years down the line. So again, we scan all that in, that's saved under household, and then, utility, tools or whatever. And so we can go back and we put in the keyword refrigerator, and that's all you have to do, type it up, and boom, up pops the receipt. Okay. I don't care how many years later it is. Okay. So let's see what you said. I have a collection tool. Taking notes is good, but a device is ideal to be accessed from anywhere. Central Information Repository. Yes, that's it. CIR. That's it. Exactly. Okay. So again, I may do a training on Evernote on another day, maybe on our Tuesday Tools Day. But Evernote in and of itself has changed our lives. Okay. Because it allows us to scan things into it. keep documents and folders. We can keep client folders and all kinds of things in there without having paper pile up. Although I still do have paper that I'm working to get rid of. Okay. But it's more important is for ideas, for tagging websites, for pages, for making sure that, I can go back and find them again. So I have one more that I'm going to share with you, and then we're going to move on here. Michelle says, I remember Evernote. Now maybe I should start using it. I get a ton of articles about nutrition, oils, and facts or statistics I want to remember. Can I save things like that to Evernote? Absolutely. Yes, you absolutely can. So actually, maybe Michelle, I'll do this in a training for our 10K crew, because this will be a very, very helpful tool for everyone in the group. So yes, this is exactly how you want to use it, Michelle. Like, again, you can break it down into different categories so that it's easy to go back there and access whatever it is that you need. So I save, like, you guys know me, I use all kinds of tools and resources. Almost everything I use now is all online, all web-based. And all I know, like, I have a tool that will remove the background off of a graphic, right? Just like that, boom. I can't remember that. I don't know the name of it and where it is. That's saved in my Evernote. Boom, I pop it up and I have it in 2 seconds. I can just say background because I know that I tagged it with remove background. I just type in the words background, boom, it pops up, and there's the website that I wanted. I don't have to keep all that information up here, you guys. This is limited space, okay? It's like getting overloaded now. Okay. Oh, wait, what did you say? Sorry, I was taking notes in the comment section. I'm on myself. Oh, wow, Brent. Okay, well, those were great notes, by the way. So that was great. That was great. So don't apologize. That was fantastic notes. Good job. So sorry you guys don't have power. And guess what? I love the fact that you were here even without that. Okay, that shows me so much. So anyway, we were talking about Evernote. This is not a full training on Evernote, but there is one other tool that I want to talk to you guys about because it ties into this information overload. So the last tool I'm going to talk about, let me make sure I have it open here, is called GetToby. Let me put this over here. Now, this is actually not a website, although, hold on, wait a minute, hold on, it is. I'm going to put this in bear with me one second. I'm going to post this in here. So let me so Evernote was the first one. And the other one is called GetToby. And it's actually an app. It's a Chrome app, but you guys I just put the link in there. It doesn't let me do that. It took it out. Okay, here's what I'm going to do, guys. Facebook does not let me post it in there. It is the craziest thing. So you're going to have to take notes from this. Let me put it on the screen. It's just gettoby.com/how to use. Because I don't think gettoby.com actually works. It's actually an app that you download from Chrome. But it's the weirdest thing. Look at that. I don't know what is going on there, but it did it as anyway. Oh, maybe Lucho did that. Okay. Anyway, whether it was me or Lucho, whatever, I don't know. That's so bizarre that it just posted from a certified fitness nutrition specialist. But anyway, let me not digress here. Okay. So that's the other thing. What this tool does really quickly is allows you how many of you, okay, you're going to have to give me a little, like a hands raised person, like the little icon, the little picture guy. So how many of you have like 30 tabs open on your browser? Maybe more. Okay. Show me with a hands up or say me. How many of you have at least 30 tabs open across the top of your browser? Okay. I want to see how many of you. I know, believe me, like there were times where I used to have so many tabs open, they would just be like little teeny miniatures. Okay. So if you are that person who has all these tabs open on your computer, on your desktop or your laptop, etc. Yep, there we go. Good, Michelle. Thank you. She did it. The hand up. Okay. All right. So you got the hand up. I'm going to tell you GetToby, or Toby for short. I just call it Toby. GetToby will change that. And the other beautiful things that it does is okay, not 30, maybe 5 or 6. Okay. 5 or 6 is actually not bad. It's really not. So, but if you get to the point where you have a whole bunch of them open, because I'm doing so many different things, I get a million tabs open, and and then I won't shut my computer down because I have all these things open. Well, what GetToby does, it allows you to pull all those, and I create categories in my Toby. So I create categories, like I put all of my website tabs into there, and I have like social media sites, primary sites, Google Docs. I have all like key Google Docs and shortcuts. So the Google Docs that I'm working on all the time, I save those on my Toby, so that way I don't have to have the tabs open. I can just go in there and click on it and it'll open it up for me. So it manages that. All of my member vault sites, I access a lot of different member vault sites. I have a whole category just for member vault sites, social media sites, business resources. So again, different things that I'm accessing and tools I'm accessing all the time. So that's what that one's for, okay? So let's keep going here. So far I've only got number 1. Okay, so tools is going to change your life, especially when it comes to information overload. The minute you start organizing and being able to save those things and put them away so that you can easily access them, what it does is it takes that extra stress off of your brain, because you don't have to think about it, because you have a single resource of where to go to access it. Just like we use RoboForm for managing our thousands and thousands of passwords, right? We have passwords for everything. We use one thing. I only have to remember one password. That's our RoboForm password. And we literally been using it for years. We have thousands of sites and passwords in there. Okay. Again, what are things that you can utilize to take that added stress, right, that information overload out of your brain and put it somewhere where it's very easy to access? Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, organize. Okay, you cannot Google everything. So this is really funny, Brett, that you brought that up. You cannot Google everything. So utilizing those 2 tools that I just mentioned, Evernote and GetToby. Okay, so as information comes in, you start to put it into logical buckets. Okay, organize the structure of your tool to store content and related topics assigned to your business components. That's what I was just talking about. So, for example, you might establish folders for branding, for marketing, for accounting, for, again, it could be, I just shared with you mine, business resources, social media sites. Okay, that's how I break it down. Have a content folder for each of your future blog posts if you're doing blogging. Maybe you have an entire social media folder, okay, where you manage your graphics. Okay, so you would say social media graphics and social media content. However you do it, whatever makes sense for you. Okay, itemize and categorize each idea that you have, regardless of where you are or what time of day it is. That's the beauty of Evernote, because again, Evernote, you can they have a mobile application. So boom, and they all sync up together. And you guys, it's free. Okay, it's absolutely free. Now, make sure you not only create this organizational system, but you also embrace it and use it religiously. Okay, I'm very clear about this. Use it religiously for your daily informational needs. I keep my Toby open. Okay, Toby is what stays open on my toolbar. I don't have to keep Evernote open because it actually sits down on my bottom. There is a Chrome app on there. So in Chrome, I can do what's called clip to Evernote. So it's just an easy, quick tap. So it's just running behind the scenes. And then I also have the full program that runs on the bottom bar as well. Okay. So those are my 2 primary things. The only other thing that I really keep open all the time is my Gmail and my Google Drive, my little Drive button. Okay. So create that organizational system, embrace it, use it religiously. Now, if you set up organization structure from the beginning, again, if you start this from the very beginning, analyzing and acting on data later on, it's going to be much more efficient and effective as you grow with the platform. So if you're not really skilled on organizing and categorizing, get somebody to help you with it, because it will make your life easier. I set up my Evernote years ago, as I mentioned. Okay. So years ago. Okay. Any questions, guys? Any questions on Evernote or GetToby or organizational processes? Okay, now is your moment. Okay. Number 3, filter the information that you're exposed to. So this is really important. Not everything is going to get saved into Evernote or GetToby or whatever you're using, Google Drive, whatever. Not everything gets saved. Make sure you're filtering it. Okay. Not all information is good information. Okay. And even some of that good information may not need to be retained. Is there a reason why you need it in the future, or is it just taking up space? Okay. So the other piece of this is you have to stay on top of the consumption and organization of your data. Okay. Don't just just put everything in there, because then it just becomes a useless collection of items. Okay. So, again, you probably have a friend or somebody that you know who has thousands of unread messages in their inbox. Okay. I used to be one of them. I have a tool for that. Okay. I have a resource for that. It saved me. Okay. But again, if you let information pile up without organizing it and filtering out the junk, you're going to be doomed either way. Okay. Number 4, how you guys doing? Number 4. All right. Stay focused. Okay. You will not rule the world right away. Okay. Stay focused. Keeping your focus is really tough. As entrepreneurs, we know this. It's so easy to get the bright shiny object syndrome like that, right? You have information coming at you from everywhere. Now, this is where I bring in the advantages of having a mentor coach. This is where it really comes in handy. Because again, when you're out there on your own and you're seeing all these things are coming at you and you get all this great information, if you don't understand where you're at in that core entrepreneurial process, it's very, very easy to spin out of control and go down rabbit holes. Okay. Oh, as Lisza says, right? Focus, follow one course until successful. This is absolutely it. It's probably one of the easiest acronyms you will ever remember. Okay. Follow one course until successful. Stay on track. A mentor or coach will help you stay on track and keep you from going off course. Okay. I cannot tell you how many times we've worked with clients who wanted to do a book. Okay. Early on in the stages in their business, they wanted to do a book. They thought they've always wanted to do a book. And I'm going to give an example. We had one client who got off track because he thought he wanted to do a book, and he took all this time to go off and do a book, but he didn't have his end goal in mind. So he got his whole book done, which was great for his ego. But guess what? It didn't lead anywhere. It didn't generate a lead or resource. It wasn't utilized properly. Okay. That's getting off track. Okay. He didn't listen. We tried to guide him. Now, having a mentor or coach will help cut through those, straying off site until it is the right time. There is a right time and place to be doing it. So for example, Michelle right now is in a process. She's in the perfect time in her business for the book that she is working on right now. It ties in beautifully. She's super clear. She knows, her strategy. She knows where she's leading them to. She knows what the process is and the book is going to do for her in her business. Okay. So it's very different. A book or a webinar, whatever it might be, must be done strategically. So staying focused is critical. And again, I can't tell you enough how important it is to have a mentor or coach. Lucio and I have been in business for over 17 years. We've always had a minimum of one coach, usually as many as 3 at one time, coaches and mentors. And the one time in those 17 years where we did not have a mentor or coach, we totally went off track. We totally strayed. And luckily we, got back on track. And again, our mentors and coaches, they up-level us, they push us, they see things that we cannot see, right? Because as Lucio likes to say, you cannot read the label from inside the jar. Okay. You can't, you're too in it. Okay. So stay focused. Okay. So if you don't have immediate plans of starting a podcast, so I'm going back to information, don't start collecting articles related to podcasting, right? If that's not on your immediate future, you don't need that right now, because guess what? By the time you end up getting around to it, the information is going to change anyway, right? In this fast-paced world, how you do business today is completely different than how we did it just a year ago. Okay. So make sure that you're staying, again, what is the next step? What is the next thing that you're working on? When you stay focused on that, then it also allows you to say no or yes to other things that are coming into your field, right? If it doesn't specifically deal with what you're focusing on and what's coming up in the near future, then it's just a logical no. Okay. But you'd be surprised how many entrepreneurs literally start collecting information for projects that they plan on implementing sometime in the future. And by the time they get to it, it's completely outdated information. And you guys, we've been around for a long time. Even I find old like articles and things that I clipped, and saved back then. And I'm like, clean it out. It doesn't even apply anymore, right? It's old. We don't even, it doesn't even apply. Okay. So focus on what you're working on in the near term and leave future projects for future planning when you're ready to plan for that. Okay, you guys, how you doing there? Okay. Any questions on that piece? Any questions on that piece? Right now. So about focusing on your immediate stay focused. Okay. Your immediate plan. Number 5 is what I call clean up after yourself. Okay. Clean up after yourself. And this is just important for long-term. Just like I mentioned, you can imagine 17 years in business. Like we have a lot of old files. Do not let your information repository, whether it's Evernote, whether it's Google Drive, whatever it is that you're using, do not let it become a cluttered mess that just continues to grow out of control. You save things to it, you hold things to it with purpose, okay, with intent and purpose, right? They're going to apply, you may need resources. Now, I'm not saying every single article you're always going to use, but it might be information is something you have to refer back to for something at some point, okay? But do go back and purge it. Get rid of articles that are no longer relevant. Delete information that you no longer need. Just like you could spring clean your house, right? You should also spring clean your platform, clear out stuff that you don't need. Okay, so using these 5 strategies for handling information overload is going to help you set up a robust collection system that positions your business for manageable and coherent growth moving forward. And actually, Brent, if you don't mind, I thought your note was excellent there, which was, again, have a collection tool. Taking notes is good, but a device is ideal to be accessed from anywhere. Your central information repository. Thank you for taking such good notes, Brent. Okay, that was great. So now we've handled those 5 things. Let's talk about what you can do to help prevent information overload. Okay, because right now we all are receiving it, right? We are receiving it. What are things that you can do or put into place? Okay, so how many of you, again, show of hands. I love the little icons or someone holding their hand up or hand. How many of you right now, okay, just today, got, too much information from somewhere, somehow, at some point, okay? Just let me know that, again, this is something we're dealing with on a daily basis, okay? I want you to interact with me, you guys and gals, okay? Interact with me. Let me know who is dealing with these issues right now today as we speak, okay? I know we all are. We are inundated right now. We have a lot going on. That's why I appreciate you being here with me tonight, okay? Or those of you catching the replay, okay? So let me know with a hands up. I love the little icons, okay? So we got a yes over here. Okay, there we go. Too much email. Okay, perfect. Great example, right? Too much email with the little hand. So thank you. Okay, so we all are dealing with this. Okay, so let's talk about this. I just want to share a little information, another information. Oh, okay, there we go. Thank you, Brett. There we go. We got 4 hands on that one. Okay, very good. Cool, 4 hands. Okay, protecting your mind from information overload. So again, I like little bits of information that might be, useless or might be useful at some point in time. Information overload was introduced by Alvin Toffler back in 1970 from his book. How many remember this book, Future Shock? I'm just curious if you guys remember that. Okay, I remember Future Shock. I remember when it came out. I probably read it way back then. In the book, he accurately predicted that the increasing amounts of information being produced at a rapid rate would eventually cause problems for the population. That was exactly what he talked about. So information overload is what he called cognitive overload. And that's when you're dealing with more information than you're able to process to make sound and sensible decisions. So you guys may or may not remember the other day, maybe it was last week when we kind of touched on information overload. And I shared that when I walk into a Sephora store, and I use this as an example because it happens to me every single time I go in there, Sephora, if you guys are familiar with it, I get complete information overload there. They have, it's all just like personal care stuff and makeup and hair and whatever. And everything. And I walk in there trying to buy like one thing, and I end up not buying anything because it's too much. They give you too many things to choose from, and then I don't choose anything. Okay. So that's an example. That's called cognitive overload. It's more information than you're able to process to make a sound and sensible decision. So with a never-ending, I said that faster, supply of information available, it's easy to get lost in learning and planning, but not make actual substantial progress. So when most people think of energy, it's solely from like the physical perspective of energy, but mental energy is most definitely an expensive source of energy, mental energy. And that's what I was talking about, utilizing tools like Evernote or GetToby, because it opens up, it relieves some of that mental energy of having to, keep those things in the back of your mind. Okay. Now you guys probably know this, besides digestion, your brain is next in line in terms of energy consumption. So overloading yourself with information leads to analysis paralysis, is what we talked about last week, which leads you to questioning yourself along with potential feelings of overwhelm, right? Analysis paralysis puts you into questioning yourself and then overwhelm. So to manage and conserve energy, use the information, but don't let the information use you. Okay, structure your information and have a purpose to everything that you consume and engage with, right? So when those things start to be too much information, you need to separate yourself from it, right? If you're online or you're all these ads or something's coming at you, you need to either shut it down, step away, okay? So first of all is protecting your mind from the information overload. Number two, and this is something you probably won't see anywhere else, okay? I love this suggestion. This is really important. And this is exactly what we have structured for you. Form a community that suits you. Be a part of a community that suits you. This is exactly why we created the Profitable Health and Wellness Professionals group. Okay, this is exactly why. And again, this came up from my research. And again, it vilifies exactly the reason why we created this group right now as it is anyway. Building a business, you guys understand this, building a business can be very lonely in and of itself, right? It's intense. Unless you have a business partner, right? It's your ideas, it's your time, it's your energy, right? And again, it's a lot. It is absolutely a lot. It's a lot. Okay. So again, it's primarily like even here, Lucho and I have our own offices. Most of the time I'm here in my office. He's in his office. We're working on different projects and different things, right? Thanks to the internet, right? And thanks to maybe co-working spaces and other things, we have the ability now to be able to connect with people, right? Zoom, of course. Zoom is great because again, we can see each other. But again, there's lots of other resources as well. But in today's age, and especially in today, in the pandemic world, right? How do we stay connected to people? Community is imperative to this. It's also imperative to reach out to your community when you have those feelings of information overload, when you have those feelings of overwhelm, right? Having that group or an individual to confide with when you miss deadline or you fall short of a sales goal or something happens, right? You just don't hit a number or, especially in difficult times, we have a saying, and especially true if you guys are in a network marketing company, you know this as well, right? And this is where I actually learned it from a network marketing company years ago. When things are tough, if you're having a tough day, things are going tough, that is when you reach up, right? You reach up to your sponsor, to your leader, to your community group leader, right? You reach up to people when things are going tough. When you are having a really good day and things are in the flow and things are working really well, is actually when you reach, again, not down meaning that they're below you, but you reach down to your team, you reach down to other people who need support. You reach out to people who might need to hear what you have to share, right? They need to hear that you got things working, right? That they are working, that they're not there by themselves, okay? That's the power of a community such as this Facebook group. That's why I'm here every single week, okay? Is having this space for people to be able to know that they're not in this by themselves, okay? Again, having a place where you know that you're not in this by yourself, okay? So again, having the community, that is really key. Number 3, this is the last of it. I know I'm running a little long tonight. I've been very talkative this evening. So make downtime non-negotiable. And I have talked about this consistently. This is across the board whether you're in overwhelm, whether it's stress, no matter what it is, you must, this is so important, is making downtime a non-negotiable. You must be able to step away from your phone, step away from your computer. We have to consciously, like, you know, Lucha and I have been working from home since 2009. We've had a virtual business since 2009. So this current world, this current environment isn't a big shift for us at all. It never was. What was a shift for us is that we no longer take time off like we used to, right? We used to block off the afternoon, go to the movies or go to a show or drive out to, you know, Red Rock and go hiking. Like we would do things like that because we wanted to break up our days and our weeks, right? To be able to work the schedule that we wanted to. You know, we have the joy to be able to go out. We did for our anniversary on a Thursday day, you know, take off the entire day and go kayaking down the Colorado River for an entire day, right? We planned that. Like we have the ability to do that. And that's so important here, especially right now, because we found ourselves working all the time, right? Because like it's the weekend, well, where are we going to go? Like we're not going to the movies, you know, we're not going to the shows. We might go hiking now that it's starting to cool off. But this summer here in Vegas, it was 115 freaking days for 4 months straight. Seems like the summer that never ended. It was too hot. It was literally too hot to go out. So we just weren't. And we had to like make decisions to step away from the computer, make decisions to, you know, even if we just went around for a walk around the, you know, the neighborhood at night when it cooled off or first thing in the morning. Okay. So it's really, really, really important to make downtime non-negotiable. Okay. You guys understand most entrepreneurs, and again, including ourselves, we have a hard time turning off from business. Okay. Here's an interesting statistic. Nearly 2/3 of business owners, even when on vacation, now I don't really do this, but well, we probably do. Even when on vacation, checked in with their businesses at least once per day, according to an On Deck study. Okay. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with this if that's part of the principles that you set up. The issue becomes when you're checking your emails and taking calls begrudgingly, when you're supposed to be experiencing moments of downtime. One of the things I love the absolute most about our kayaking trip down the Colorado River, we had no internet service, none, no internet service. We were completely separated away from it, which was, we needed to have the space away, right? We needed to have it completely. Then the only thing we did was take pictures. That was it. Otherwise, we got to be present, right? We got to be present with each other. We got to be present with our friends. We got to be present in the space, right? I encourage you guys, do not take this lightly. This is a really key piece of especially addressing and handling information overload, stress, overwhelm, and all of that. Even if you get up and just take a walk around the block, okay? I went a little long tonight. I appreciate you being here. I want to make sure that I'm available to answer any questions. Hopefully you guys have access to the resources I shared with you. I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to see you incorporating these and help take some of that stuff that's weighing on you, on your head, sitting on your computer, and get it organized. Okay, get it organized so that it takes that mental pressure off of you. Okay. Whew. So I've been yakking away here for a while. You guys have been fantastic. I like to see some hands up, some shout outs. Who here is going to check out, at least check out or check out Evernote and GetToby, and or has a tool or resource that they're going to go back and revisit to organize and get these things off that mental load for you? How many? I want to see by a show of hands say, yes, me, I'm going to do that. I'm going to look at that tonight or this week. When we come back next week. Now, in the meantime, while you guys are doing that, I just want to remind you one last time, the Monetize Your Nutrition Knowledge virtual live experience is coming up in early December. Our early bird pricing, the super early bird pricing is gone, but our early bird pricing is still in effect. Again, you guys, for as low as $147, starting at $147 for 3 entire days. I encourage you to look at how you can apply this to your business, or who can you share this forward where they can work on their business, right? And have tangible systems and processes in place after 3 days to apply in December immediately. Okay. So I just encourage you to do so. So let's see. Michelle says, I'm going to go look at Evernote tonight. Excellent, Michelle. great. Take a look at that. That's probably another reminder that I have to do for everybody in the group. It will change your life. The free version is absolutely fine. We have the paid version because we attach our, we have the special Evernote scanners. So we scan everything in directly into Evernote. So it's a little different price point, but I used the free version for years and years and years. So let's see. Cool. That is fantastic. Anybody else? Who else is going to apply or review some of the tools and resources and tips that I shared with you tonight? Like to see it. So, and again, for those of you joining on the replay, #replay, be sure to check out Monetize Your Nutrition Knowledge or share this forward with somebody who could utilize this in their business. It's our favorite event of the year. We're doing it virtually this year, so no travel required. You can do it from home, and you will still, I'm telling you, it's going to be super interactive, whole total fun experience. So with that, I'm going to say good night, you guys. Apply these things, try them out. Let me know how it goes for you. Have a great night.